Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my two obligatory informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And I had a subscriber send me a message just a little bit ago, so I went to watch the training. He said, Jason, could you talk a little bit about Brandon Carter's training for this fight coming up with Kinobody? And I'm going to do just that. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. You know, the way some of this feels, this reminds me because, you know, we have Greg O'Gallagher right here, right? Greg O'Gallagher, Irish name, about to fight Brandon Carter. Now this has happened in around the same time in this community that a much larger fight is happening where you have Conor McGregor, another Irishman, fighting against Floyd Mayweather. Do you guys remember the movie The Great White Hype? You guys know what I'm talking about, with Irish Terry Conklin. Of course, they called him that. He wasn't actually Irish in the movie just because they thought it would sell better if they made him Irish. It was The Great White Hype. And it was really hyped up that he was going to be this big contender against this champion. And they made it all about race, with a supposedly Irish guy going to take down this black heavyweight champion. And it was all hyped up and everything, right? Then, of course, it goes down that he loses. He gets knocked out. But you know, that's kind of what this feels like. A lot of this has been hyped up with these different things, and you got this. But, you know, the reality is, I actually think that this is going to be worse. This is going to be worse. Yeah, Conor McGregor is going to beat Floyd Mayweather. That's probably going to happen. It's not going to be overwhelming, but he's probably going to win, and there's a number of reasons for that. This is going to be a lot bigger of a victory. I don't think Brandon Carter even has a chance. This is not going to go his way. This is not going to go how he expects. He's letting his ego get the best of him. He is not going to beat Greg O'Gallagher. I don't think he even has a reasonable chance. We'll get into why in a minute. Now, some people are going to go, Jason, see, you're buying into that Great White Hype. You're a middle-aged white dude, and you just want to put your money on the clean-cut white boy. That's what you want to do. No, I don't think it's about that at all. It's about being realistic about this. Because I went and watched his training video, and here's what I'm going to say. The little bit of training footage that we have from Brandon Carter out there, he is absurdly weak and he's absurdly slow. All right? He does way too much bodybuilding fluff training. He moves weight slowly, struggles with anything remotely heavy. He doesn't have anything that I would describe as any sort of functional athletic strength. And it's shocking. Like, I'm really, really shocked that a guy his size is at the strength levels he's at. I'm really surprised. Like, okay, if he was a 180-pound dude, 170-pound dude, okay. All right, I'll believe it. But the little bit of stuff we do see him do is pretty bad. And a lot of it gets cut off. We don't even see full workouts. We see him in the middle of maybe doing some reps where they get one rep in. We don't even get the full rep. We don't see him lift stuff. Seeing him lower 100-pound dumbbells on a chest press. See him failing, trying to do like a dip with a bunch of plates and just dropping down and laughing. Then we see him doing some body weight chin-ups. And those don't come very easy to him. All right, what have we seen him do? Rack pulls above the knee with 405 using straps. I'm sorry, but what I've seen him do, I think it's totally reasonable for a 150-pound dude to be doing what he's doing. So people are going, are you serious? Yeah, I'm dead serious. His strength levels are lower than what I would consider for like novice level strength. Like someone who's been in the gym 6 to 9 months could easily do what he does, if not surpass the things I've seen him do, other than maybe the 100-pound dumbbell presses. But someone who's been training over a year, totally doable, completely drug-free. All right, he has no strength, he trains slow, has no speed, no power. No speed, no power, no strength. Way below for his size. He's carrying dead weight. And it would be fine. You know, people say, well, you know, body fat's dead weight, not muscle. In his case, it's not very functional muscle. It might as well be fat from a conditioning perspective. In fact, it's worse. Because when it comes to conditioning and needing air and cardio, 10 pounds of muscle will actually have a higher metabolic requirement than 10 pounds of fat will. Now, it's better to have muscle than fat in some ways for strength and power, but he doesn't have the strength and power. He's carrying dead weight. And he's saying, yeah, I got to get my cardio up. I got to get my cardio up. We'll get to that in a minute. You watch him spar. He's slow. He's slow. Like a guy carrying as much muscle as he has, who's been weight training with free weights, should be a hell of a lot faster than he is. He's slow. It's because he trains slow. He doesn't train for speed. He doesn't train for power. He doesn't have any. That is going to matter. And you watch him sparring, a little bit of stuff that we see, he is slow. He's slow and he's clumsy. Now, it's one thing to be big and have a lot of muscle. When you've got mass you can throw around, if you can use it and you have power from it, that's a big advantage. He doesn't have the power to go with the size. Like, it's really bad, and it says a lot about the way he chooses to train. Not all weight training carries over the same to athletic endeavors. Now, the cardio. He said, yeah, I got to work on my cardio. I got to work on my conditioning. The sort of conditioning you're going to need for this, the diet that he runs. The diet that he runs is inappropriate. All right, he needs to be eating a very high carb diet for what he's trying to do. He needs carbohydrates. He's on a ketogenic diet because he's pimping and promoting the ketogenic diet for money. He is going to struggle to get the sort of cardio and conditioning that he needs to do. And I'm not saying endurance athletes can't be keto adapted and work it, but the sort of conditioning that he needs is going to need glucose for fuel. He is going to tap out very easy, and he's not just going to tap out when he finally gets there. It's his actual training getting there. He's not going to be able to create the sort of endurance that he wants with the diet that he's choosing to follow, particularly in this short of a time. It is going to handicap him. So what we have, he's big, slow, and weak. Doesn't have conditioning. Following a diet that's going to make this sort of conditioning he wants more difficult to achieve. And essentially, despite how he looks, he's basically not in particularly good shape. He's not powerful. He's not fast. Doesn't have conditioning. And the extra muscle, the extra body weight he has is going to put him at a conditioning disadvantage because it's not helping him in any way. Then it comes down to training. He's doing a little bit of boxing training now. He's doing some training now. Kinobody has a mixed martial arts background. He's actually got a really good trainer. He can afford a really good trainer. He's getting fantastic training. He's been training and preparing for this for longer. He has a far, far more extensive fighting training background. All right, that matters. I mean, let's stand there and look at all things that are involved. What do you need for boxing? You need speed and power. Those are the same things. You need agility. You need conditioning. And you need ability. You need someone who has taught you how to fight. You need experience and training in actual fighting. Those are the four things you need. He is slower than Kinobody, weaker than Kinobody. He can't lift as much weight. He's not as strong. He's not as fast. He's not as explosive. He's beat right there. He's not agile. The other guy's smaller, faster. So Greg is smaller and faster and stronger, more powerful. He doesn't have good conditioning. He's on a diet that's going to make his conditioning hard, and because he carries a lot of extra body weight that doesn't seem to be helping him, his conditioning is probably going to be the worst out of the two. Number 4, he has less training experience. You can tell from the way he does stuff, he doesn't have actual experience, like being taught how to actually fight by anyone who knows what they're doing. He doesn't have experience. Kinobody at least has a mixed martial arts and a Brazilian jiu-jitsu background, and he's been now training for boxing. He was also switched over to kickboxing. Now he's training for regular boxing to get ready for this match. And he is getting good formal training. Brandon seems to be getting some good training now, but it's a little bit late in the game against someone who's an experienced martial artist already in multiple styles. So what we have a faster, stronger, more explosive, more agile, better conditioned fighter with more training and more experience. This isn't even going to be close. Brandon, you're about to get your ass handed to you by a little white boy. Do you understand that? You understand, you kind of put on this air of certain things and talk a little bit about, the checkered past, a little bit of a street background. You're about to lose all your street cred when this happens. A little rich white boy is about to whoop your ass in the ring because you ran off your mouth and you can't back it up. Alright? You are going to lose all your street cred. You know that other video you were talking about, oh, you act like Carlton when you're dealing with the police? You might want to go ahead and just go full Carlton at this point, for your marketing is going to do a lot better for you. Because your street cred is about to be done. It's going to be over. And that's just reality. It has nothing to do with me favoring Kinobody. I'm not a fan of Kinobody. But facts are facts. You better look at this situation. Maybe if you wanted to do something athletic, you should have trained like an athlete for the past 3 or 4 or 5 years. Because you haven't been. And it shows. You're slow and you're weak. With no conditioning. And your diet is going to make things worse. It's as simple as that. You're about to lose. And it's going to be bad. It's going to be humiliating. And that's my opinion on it, guys. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative. And I will talk to you guys next time.